Hey guys, welcome back to another one. So this one isn't your normal sort of typical riding video that I've been making lately. I did get a question on my last video on what my camera setup looks like. So wanted to quickly go through that, show you my settings, show you what I sort of do when I put together the videos. And yeah, hopefully it can help somebody else out there. So starting with the camera, I use the GoPro Hero 13 Black. All I've done to this one is changed the lens from the standard one to the ultra wide. And I got this kind of dead cat wind muffler thing off eBay that just stick over the mic port. So that's the camera that I use. In terms of how I have it mounted, so there's two different ways that I go about mounting the camera to my setup, either chin mount or have it on my visor. Quickly show you both ways that I do that. I've got both my helmets here and I'll show you how I attach the GoPro to those helmets. So starting with the full face, what I've done, this is the Fox Pro Frame full face. So I got a J hook, one of those J attachments that come in kind of your GoPro bag typically. And I cut it up a little bit and then mounted it to the helmet just with some cable ties. That holds on pretty secure. I don't know if you can see that. I'll go quickly. So it's mounted on there on the front like so. I used to mount the camera directly to these mounts, but what I found was every time I took the camera off and tried to put it back in the same position, I couldn't get the same shot again, which was actually quite annoying. So what I bought recently is GoPro's new magnetic mount. So the attachment hooks onto the helmet, just in the standard sort of position. And then if I get my GoPro, that's the sort of standard mount, I'm able to just click it in like so. And then when I need to take it off, you can see I've got my angle, take it off, and then it ends up in the same position again. So that's what I use for the full face. The other helmet that I have is my open face. So this is the Fox speed frame, and you can see I've got the mount on the front. So similar sort of thing, I've got that magnetic attachment. Let's sit my camera right on top. Sits in there quite tight in between there. Then I can make sure my view always sort of sits in the same position. So that's how I mount the camera to my head or my body when I'm mountain biking. The next thing I wanted to go into is my GoPro settings. So I'll fire up the GoPro on my phone and do that now. So the handiest thing I reckon with these GoPros is getting the GoPro Quick app on your phone and hooking it up, because what that allows you to do is, you know, when you've sort of got it mounted where it needs to be on your body, you can open up preview on your phone and then it'll show you kind of what it's looking at. And then I use that to adjust the view, whatever it needs to be. All right, so if I open up my settings, I've got this one called bike. I'll just edit that preset. So profile, I've got to standard, mainly because I've never color graded GoPro footage in the past and can't really be bothered. So I just want the camera, the colors and everything to come out of the GoPro how it looks naturally. Framing 16 by 9, resolution's 4K, frame rate is 30, ultra super view. So you'll only get these ultra settings if you have the ultra wide lens on your camera. So just keep that in mind. Horizon lock on, hyper smooth on. What else? Bit depth, I've got to 10-bit. Bit rate is high. EV com -0.5. ISO min max. Sharpness medium. GoPro footage is always pretty sharp out of the camera, so don't need to go too crazy with that. You can always add, sharpness afterwards if you want to. Color is natural. Raw audio is off. Wind reduction auto. Audio tuning standard. Yeah. So yeah, this is just what works for me. Camera settings and how I mount it to the camera. So something else that is pretty important is how you export it. So I use DaVinci Resolve to edit all my videos. I do have the paid version for that, so it does allow me to do, I think, different exports to what you'd typically get if you didn't have the paid version. So all of my footage is 4K 30. That's what I have my timeline set in DaVinci Resolve. And then from a export perspective, I'll put a screenshot up somewhere here on what those settings look like for my exports. And yeah, my footage always seems to come out very, very good, and the file sizes aren't super huge. So uploading it to YouTube makes it pretty easy. And yeah, the quality is retained as much as it can be. I know YouTube has some compression stuff that it does when you upload it, but looking at the raw footage on my computer is always as good as it coming straight out of the camera. So I'm not losing anything to any of the exporting there. So hopefully this video has helped. Leave a comment if there's any tips or things I can change. Always learning. Hope you enjoy. See you in the next one.